Hello, hello, Rebel.
Afternoon, folks.
REL 6, REL 7, Div preview week 2. We're sticking with our theme from last season. It's branding, in which case we just get the weeks wrong every time.
Yes,
Purpose.
according to Ben, our brand is being wrong.
Yeah.
I'm a business student, so I have some problems with this, but
Well, it's a preview. It's previewing week 2, right?
it's true. So this week we'll be doing 2 replay reviews, as we are alternating between replay reviews and team reviews, and we'll be predicting who we think will win in the upcoming weeks. Well, the upcoming week, I should say.
Yep. Take a look at the results from the week that just occurred, and then give a prediction for next week after we take a look at our 2 games. And then next week we'll rotate back to taking a look at all of the team skills to see if anybody has progressed. We've also sort of settled on our scoring system, I believe, for our prediction competition against each other. So do you want to elaborate on that one?
Sure. So each week, Ben and I will predict who will win. Sometimes we will agree, sometimes we won't. Anytime one of us anytime we are right, we get 2 points. Anytime the person we predict to win loses, we lose a point. And anytime a tie occurs, we get no points. Or if there's an admin result, we get no points. And we are not allowed to predict ties because ties are boring.
Yep, and we figured that also is potentially a way for us to more likely predict opposite matchups in close ones, right? Whereas if it was a close match and we might predict a tie, and doing it this way means that we can gamble for the win, as it were, because if it is a tie, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and we're also going to try to we're keeping track of who we cast for the replays, and we're going to try to get everybody. We don't guarantee that we will, but we're going to give it a shot. At some point, we have to start prioritizing the division leaders or the playoff contenders. They're the same people, it turns out, because the div narrative is super important in this. But we will try to get everyone at least once.
Yeah, it turns out that the reason why most of us play in structured leagues is because the narratives and stuff are cool. So at some point, things like playoffs and matches that matter for playoffs matter. But until then, we can just try to rotate through as many people as possible, assuming your games are exciting in some way. Whether that be a good technical, this is a good example of Blood Bowl, whether it be because there was some stupid nonsense in it, or whether it was just because it was a match that we decided was interesting. Yeah, I know. I finally got something. I don't actually. That's a spoiler. I'm not going to say it until we get there. But if you're in Twitch chat, well, ruined it.
It's fine. You don't know whom Steak predicted. So.
That's true. All right. So, shall we get started into week number 2 now that the housekeeping is out of the way?
Yeah, so first up we have a Norse versus Wood Elf, my stays being the Wood Elves, Eyes and Mike being the Norse from REL 6.
And let's bring us down from the large cameras to the small corner. Small. And we're in the game. I don't have the live spinny logo because it's not live, but I probably should put it up at some point. I just forgot to add it to the scene. Maybe
do we want to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown for when we start?
Sure. Shall we go? 3, 2, 1, go. So we've got Island Mike, and my stays are Eisen Mike. I don't know how I'm going to pronounce that. And we have a wizard on both sides.
Wizard Stadium, I assume. Yep.
And we got a bribe on the behalf of Eisen Mike.
So I suspect some fouling is going to go down. So Eisen Mike, however, we're going to stick with it, has no bench. He looks like he's rocking 2 owners, in fact. So a little bit battered, and my stays is also rocking no bench. So an exciting game, AV7 all around. So this is really going to come down to who gets some early Kaz.
AV7 all around, although one side has Mighty Blow and the other doesn't. One side does not have Tackle, and the other side has Dodge.
Yes, so it's a bit of a mixed bag, shall we say. Elements of Style get a extra reroll off the kickoff. That's very nice. So that brings them to 3.
It's a short kick, too.
It is. It's what you'd expect versus what else. He has the kick skill, so...
Yeah, well, he dropped it there so that he can try to punch some elves and get in there, potentially.
Exactly. The guard Wood Elf doing some work here. Gonna get some good line blocks here.
We have the sort of natural one-turner catcher who has to be on the pitch, considering there is no bench either, so he's going to be a pretty serious target for the Norse to try to punch.
Blitz here coming in on the Ulfwarner. Gets a knockdown.
He's okay for now.
War Dancer going deep, relying on that blodge. There's no tackle. There is Frenzy, which is kind of budget tackle, but
I mean, I guess.
My Stays with his ridiculous catchers is looking to do a quick score, a 2-turn perhaps, which makes a lot of sense versus Norse.
Especially since you have ridiculous catchers. I mean, you just want to do anything you can to avoid taking too many hits. Like, every time you score, you're going to take the 3 line blocks, obviously. But that's better than taking 16 turns of punches in several cases.
And with an accurate thrower, you can get some pretty reasonable passes going to Wood Elf catchers, which are, you know, pretty good at receiving.
The only ones who are really better are sort of pro elf catchers, I guess.
Unfortunately, that did give up a free block on the guard piece, but he is fine. And the War Dancer is about to get 3-dyed by a Yeti. Will we find a POW?
Well, we have the budget tackle. Nope.
We will 1 in 27 and then loner.
Good start. And stun himself. Good job, Yeti. You're useful.
Look, Yetis are turnover machines.
Yeah.
That's what Frenzy and No Block does, it turns out.
Blitzing with the Berserker might have been better. You still get the same thing, but you don't get 3 dies. I mean, I guess what's the chance of turning over on a 3-die? And the answer is, well, bad.
Yeah. Oh, and there goes Yingling. Shitty beer, shitty lineman.
Fair enough.
Taking some free hits, and then I imagine he's going to go for the 2-turn. He might be able to, or not might be able to, he can definitely stall this if he feels like
He's
it.
Norse.
Oh, Jesus.
Getting instantly out-removed by these Wood Elves. I mean, Armor 7 sometimes just collapses on you.
Yeah, and it is doing that currently. It looks like he's setting up for a stall.
Yeah, I mean, if you can stall, you probably should, because, you know, you don't want to avoid, you want to avoid the 3 free line blocks.
You do, especially if like things are going your way on the field. There's no reason to change that.
Thump. Easy pass.
A score gives you a quick KO reset too, so it could. I mean, we've seen Kaz's swing the other way on a change in drive. So
He's actually ahead in removals currently, and he has all the incentive in the world not to give his opponent a drive currently.
Yep. Oh, there's some ones, and there's a Kaz for the Wood Elves, though only on a loner.
Death Floor.
Yep.
Death Floor better than Norse Mighty Blow currently.
Death Floor killed my skink this week, so not a skink I care about. Oh, and
oh my God.
The Wood Elves are starting to break.
This is seriously this is an Armor 7 versus Armor 7 matchup at its core. By like turn 3, we're gonna
pitch players.
by turn 3, we're gonna have 2 players left.
This is interesting. He's going for a 2-die on the War Dancer.
Well, it's strength 4.
He pushes him, and he's pushing him.
Yeah.
He's hoping to push him into other tackle zones so that he can get more blocks. So he's like, "How long can I go without a POW? It's got to happen eventually, right? Right, Ben?
Yeah, no.
Right?
In my experience, you just never get a POW.
So that was 8 dice without a POW.
Yeah, that seems about right for me.
No, that was actually 10 dice without a POW because he rerolls in there.
Yep.
Seems legit. What are 6s? They don't exist.
No. 1 in 6 rolls 10 dice.
What's the expected value, Ben?
10 over 6.
I'm just kidding.
It's 5/3.
It's not math magic, you know. Freeing up his War Dancer and getting a free hit. And it's an armor break. I think we're at nearly 100%.
Almost.
And he runs it in.
All right, well, there you go.
Sensible play.
Yeah, Norse are getting
a little
close.
surrounded. Yeah.
Elects to just go for it and reset the clock. I feel like this match is going to be a little silly. I mean, to be fair, that's probably why we picked it.
By the way, if our volume levels are different, I know we had some trouble with that last week. Shout at us.
I think I fixed it,
Pretty.
but we'll see. I feel like I need to adjust my camera light, though. It seems like the light is a little weird.
Oh, I escaped out of some of those cinematics. Let me know when you get to the setup.
Now.
Okay, we should be at the same.
Adjust the gamma on my camera or something. But I think that's just because it's the nature of the time of day. I really need to get a big light up front or something so that my lighting can be consistent. It's generally
and a green screen, and
I don't need the green screen really. I've tried using the like fake green screen technology thing my camera has, but it doesn't work that well because I don't have great light. Honestly, the big deal is I need a big light, I think.
So back to the game. The plus movement blodge guard runner stays out.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate for Eisenmike because that is a very key piece for him.
And we actually have the thrower on the line.
For Norse?
No, for elves.
Oh, well, Wood Elf throwers are often fairly expendable, especially if you're running out of linemen.
Yeah, which it's the thrower or it's one of the catchers or the war dancers.
Hey, look, the guard is getting mighty blowed. I am surprised.
Or like the guard lineman, like it's his only choice at this point, I think.
Mighty blow doing a thing, but only resulting in a stun. Oh, this is scary. Oh, he's fine.
The deep kick is kind of annoying for the Norse.
It is.
But the good news is for the Norse now they get they do have to be careful with the wizard. There you go. But the good news is they now have it was an early score, right? So that was now the Norse get what 6 turns of just punching the wood elves, and as long as they protect the ball, they'll.
That's going to be a little tough here. This entire flank is open. The wood elves are going to flood to this side. I feel.
Yeah.
And he is committing. Well, he's committing to that foul on a stun piece, which rewarded.
Which you yelled at me a lot about yesterday.
I yelled at you. Oh, he gets sent off though.
He has a bribe.
He's a bribe, right? Yes, because you forgot to kick anyone in the entire first half, and it drove me nuts. Okay, Bolt. Ooh, into an injury on the blodge runner.
Oh, that was my concern. Is that
MNG into an MNG.
He does get several turns to try and score here, but with the bolts available, the Wood Elves have a really easy way of getting it free, and they prevent the 6 turns of punching, especially since the Norse didn't commit enough people over there. Like, you probably want another player to at least discourage the bolt play.
Yeah, with the ball that exposed, it's no surprise that he bolted, and he's now clearing out the only threat to the ball.
That's the big reason why I like Wizards in some cases, is that it like just encourages your opponent to do different things, right? It's like either don't potato, don't leave your ball alone, or I lightning bolt it. So you have to dedicate more players to it, and like just the threat of the wizard is a big deal. It gets you a big advantage.
I like this. Even though he has sure feet, he's not throwing these GFIs because he doesn't need to. Some people, myself included, tend to throw sure feet GFIs because what's a 1 in 36?
1 in 36 of the time. Instant blitz with the Yeti.
3 die on a sidestep player.
But we get to try twice. Hello, Arendar.
Well, cows are not a thing for Eisenmike.
This Yeti is useless.
That was a 6 die. I think that's about a 70% chance.
This Yeti has now rolled, in total, what, 12 dice without getting
it KO'd a line, or it KO'd the thrower, actually.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot about that block.
I feel we're about to see a foul on this wrestle lineman.
I mean,
something tells me.
I
don't know if he needs to commit that much to it.
Well, he's not going to stop the Wood Elves from scoring. Like, there's literally nothing he can do, because the runner is...
Ooh, he gets one, though.
The catcher's just in range.
It's worth noting that was an 11 into an 11 that would have taken out a tree.
Yep. He didn't even need those assists.
An unassisted foul on a tree would have resulted in a badly hurt.
But I like this.
Oop, Yeti going down. Uh-oh.
There's almost no way he had of getting to the ball, and the Wood Elves can just score for free. So you might as well just aim for removals. The Wood Elves can potentially stall now if they want to, but that gives you another chance at more removals, so that's always nice.
Looks like the Wood Elves are planning to stall. I mean, there's not a lot of chances for meaningful removals.
Still removals. At some point, like we've already seen, he had to put his thrower on the line. At some point, he's going to have to put his good lineman.
Fireball.
Fireball is a weird choice.
2-man fireball is, yeah, that's interesting.
That's a like, yeah. We got
He does
both
get
though.
2 for 2 and 2 KOs.
That's a victory. All right. Can he reach the ball carrier now with the Ulf? I don't think so.
The plus agi runner, no. And the Ulf can, but we'd have to do a stupid dodge. So
he can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He can with double GFIs, right?
And a 4+ dodge. Oh, he's going for it. He makes the dodge.
Oh, I like it.
I love it.
Oh no.
No sidestep on this player.
Got it.
And he rolls a POW even.
Finds the surf.
Into an injury. This game is amazing.
I'm already really pleased. Certainly paid off. Worth it. Never did he wait.
He appoed it, yeah. That's brazen. I mean, both sides have lost their appos.
The problem is now the ball is in the end zone and he has no players capable of getting there. So
yeah, I mean, and this Ulf is headed to Surf Town, USA, you know?
Surfing USA. Yeah, that's not the scatter you hoped for. You really hoped for, like, ridiculous.
It to be booted out to the other side, yeah. Hey, look, who are you going to score with? But, I mean, you're probably going to surf first.
Well, it's an uphill surf currently. He's going to do it anyway. No, he's not.
No, he's not, looks like. He's going to go up. He dodges out and scores.
It is an uphill surf. The downside with that fireball, I mean, it was a fireball, but they were just knockouts, so here's a good chance to get them back.
Well, I mean, he's got no babe, so technically he doesn't, but
it's a 50%.
I look forward to him getting them back anyway. 25% to get both back.
I'm not skipping any cinematic here.
I managed to not hit escape as well, even though I'm excited to know.
Let's see. 2 dead and injured for the Wood Elves. 1 comes
only
back.
1 KO back, yeah. 2 dead and injured for the Norse. And their KO stays on the ground. He sees the score. He knows what's going on. Not worth waking up.
I mean, the Wood Elves now have 6 players on the field.
I think something football related just happened because everyone is screaming in chat.
Am I allowed to? It's my stream. Fuck it. Close your ears if you don't want spoilers. England lost to Croatia.
In the finals?
Semifinals.
Oh, okay.
So the finals are going to be France and Croatia, and the third place match is.
Wait, Croatia's good at football?
Apparently, well, it's a huge deal for them, right? This is their first time in the finals ever.
That's really cool. I mean, I really loved the Iceland story along those lines too. Oh,
right.
Easy.
Well, there you go. And he caught it.
And the Berserker caught it.
If only that wasn't a riot, he probably had a much easier time of scoring here. Currently, he's going to have to potato pretty hard to make it even. And the third place match will be England-Belgium.
Will the thrower survive? He does. Yeah, but like when Iceland made it, and like basically the... it was a tiny, tiny country somehow.
Or the one time in Canadian history in like 1984 when Canada made it.
It's pretty fun.
I don't think they made it past they didn't make it past the group stage, but they've only ever qualified for the World Cup once, which certainly makes sense.
Double GFIs. He's good though.
Canada is much smaller than some of the bigger countries in terms of population.
Man, he found a POW.
He did.
But the sidestep, that's a smart sidestep. It does block the way unless there's a removal, and there is not. But the loner can fill the gap anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And we're also not really a football country, for that matter.
Canada is not a football country. Are we going to see a leap? Oh no, we're just blitzing the corner off. Interesting.
I mean, all he has to do is get in the way, right? Like, it's one turn, right?
Oh, that was the only scoring threat that wasn't a loner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I thought he had made it farther up than he had.
No, the riot was really bad.
I've heard about this. This is Eyes and Mike forgetting how to count.
It turns out the riot was really bad for
it was
the Norse here.
Oh, made the handoff. Now he's got to do a dodge and double GFI with loner. He makes the dodge.
Oh, you're just a bit ahead of me.
He trips. He
tripped.
He fails the loner.
Right, he tripped right now, yeah.
Okay, I paused it for a moment. There.
Yeah, failed the loner. Well, that's disappointing.
We say poor Eyes and Mike, but he did forget to count, which is, the failing of all good Blood Bowl coaches.
Yeah.
We all forget to count sometimes.
But the England Croatia game, like England scored first. Oh, only one remains knocked out for the Wood Elves, and that Norse player is still not wanting to bother with this game. It went to extra time, and then they did all 30 minutes of extra time, and then like 5 minutes of injury time afterwards. So England was like throwing everything they possibly could to try and like score. It was really fun. I watched the last like 10 minutes of the game. But England was winning, like I think until extra time, but I missed most of it because it turns out when games start at 3 p.m. it's very difficult to watch them from work. I mean, this isn't elfing, and we knew it would be, but we wanted to see the elfing happen. Like our two major options for this division, we were going to watch either this elfing or we were going to watch a 1-0 Dwarf Skaven game, and we thought that would blitz, and we had assumed that would just be kind of boring, like dwarves punching Skaven and then scoring 1-0. So
you know who is really good at capitalizing on blitzes, Ben?
Wood Elves.
Does not get the knockdown there though. No, it doesn't need it. Just runs past anyway. Catcher is doing catcher things and just dodging into the backfield, putting pressure on the ball.
Yep. And they're difficult to... The thing that killed Eisenmike here is the lack of tackle. If he had tackle on like one player, that would make his life so much easier.
That is a one-turner dodging through a Mighty Blow player, but he makes it, so...
Yep. Scatter doesn't go his way.
I wonder which catcher is gonna get blitzed.
I mean, the thing is, both of them are in scoring range, so it doesn't really matter.
That thrower has eaten so many Mighty Blow hits.
And he's fine. He's unbreakable armor thrower.
Finds a pal.
He's okay this time. But do we expect that catcher to get dirty playered? Because I do.
The sidestep diving tackle one, yeah, I think he's gonna get dirty playered.
I mean, I would hope so.
Well, you've also got a... Oh, never mind. This is a strength 2 piece, so...
Yeah, it's their strength 2. You can just blitz one.
And this is the kind... Oh, no,
he's not going to.
He might be just giving up on preventing this score. I mean, admittedly, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Well, Agi 4, he can get the ball, certainly.
That'll do it, yep.
He hasn't blitzed yet.
He punts it, and it's intercepted by the Wood Elves, because Wood Elves like to stunt on you.
Well, this is why you don't try to throw the ball over Elves.
I mean, he did mark it up. It was a 6+ intercept, it's worth noting.
That's true, and he managed to get it, which is kind of funny.
So saying, this is why you don't do it, this is why you don't risk 6+,
well, normally
it's a little unfair to Eisenmike, perhaps.
I suppose. Normally you don't want to throw over Elves, but he did mark him up first correctly.
Eisenmike definitely wants to score, or Mystays rather, definitely wants to score on this catcher because he is very close to leveling.
The other thing is, as
still some cool things to get.
Morley points out, is catch lets you reroll intercepts. So it was a 6+, but it was a free rerolled 6+.
Sure, but a rerolled 6+ is still what, like a 20% chance? Not even? No, it is a little bit more than 20% chance.
And if he didn't mark him up, it would have been like 50 or whatever.
55.
Yeah.
A 5+ with a reroll is 55. I know this. I play Edgy 1 teams.
Wild animal failure, but it was a 4+.
Yep.
This is like, these are just Norse getting stunted on at this point. It's kind of fun.
I mean, there's a lot of dice involved in this stunting, but yes.
Foul him. Good job. He's going to get sent off now.
Hit in the guard piece. Does not get sent off, but rolls a 5 into a 5, so only gets a stun.
5+ armor rolls a 5.
You kind of have to score here. Hard to stay safe from a Agi 4 Blodge Berserker.
And he takes
and
it.
He does.
And we go up 3-0 for the Elves after a blitz that they could capitalize on into an interception. I feel like I might have just held the ball there. I mean, the downside is he would have had a pretty easy 1-die at least, but there were catchers nearby, so it would have been a 1-die.
Yeah, but you don't care. You're going up 3-0 at this point, and you're scoring on a player you really want to level because that sacker is disgusting. So.
Oh no, I mean Eisenmike. He instead of passing, you could have just held the ball.
Oh, instead of punting it. Yeah, I might have. Yeah,
I would have considered.
I mean, you were going to get 2-died by a tackle war dancer, tackle strip ball war dancer, I think. So, Oh, great. Perfect. Jesus Christ.
I haven't seen it yet.
The,
Perfect defense. Great.
Yep.
Because the elves need more things to go their way this game.
Oh, am I skipping ahead? I think I skipped ahead.
You did.
I just do it, like, automatically.
I did too, because I knew you would, but you skipped faster. That Norse player, the runner, is still out. He has just decided he doesn't want to play this game.
I don't blame him.
He's failed like 4 in a row.
Another deep kick. In fact, near enough to the touchdown line. And the Wood Elves are setting up to go 4-0.
Yep.
That's a 1 die.
This is great. Well, I think
with a loner piece even.
I think he's
just gets a KO though.
He's got to try something dumb at this point.
Yeah, and I mean it's still only a 2+ with Norse, so.
Yep.
Getting some breaks, getting some KOs. KOs are basically as good as dead.
Well, I mean, not if you want to win the game. Because if you score, they have a chance to come back.
It's true.
And if you want to win the game, you kind of need to score.
I mean, I don't know how Norse score.
3 times?
This many times? Yeah.
Well, you do it
hey, look,
by...
the Yeti was nice enough to push the catcher towards the ball.
Yep. You score 3 times as Norse by killing every Wood Elf and then just running it in.
I don't know if you can physically do that, but... Oh. I'm telling you, that thrower is a goddamn hero.
Yep. He just is not killable.
One turner getting safe, or as a safety, probably more safe.
More armor 7 breaks. Goodbye.
There is no one in range of the ball. There are some catchers who can get near it, and one who can get onto it.
There's one who can mark it, yeah. The one on the Yeti can mark it. But he
does
had to
not have sure feet, though.
He had to remove that lineman first, which
finally.
is why he blitzed. You're ahead. Just fell.
Okay. I will pause.
And he rerolls it and marks up the ball.
Okay. I'm back on.
We can get another one behind. Oh, another GFI fail. And Deathfloor takes a toll.
Yep. Just because you can take the GFIs doesn't mean you should.
This is like a very Armor 7 game. It's like Blood Bowl 7s or whatever.
Yep.
Instead of playing with a full team of 11, we're just going to play with like 6 guys. It's fine. You don't need more. We're gonna knock over this War Dancer if it's the last thing I do.
Gets a 3 die, at least for the first one.
Got
Finds
it.
a pal, even. Now he can technically dodge through and pass up to the DP lineman. He might be going for that. He's got a quick score if he wants to stay in this.
I mean, he might also just try to foul the bejesus out of the War Dancer.
It fails the pass.
Good start.
He is throwing it into the scrum, though, so that tells me he is probably going for the foul.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Here we go. Screw you, War Dancer.
Kill the War Dancer. Nope.
Oh, there it
Sent off.
goes. Sent off for a stun.
In fact, double 4s into double 2s.
Double sent off. You don't get to stand in the casualty box. You have to leave. Nope. There comes the
being used.
There comes the catcher from the other side of space. Although we do not knock over the ball carrier. Oh, we do, because wrestle.
We wrestled it. Oh, but the elf's got it.
That's fine. I mean, he's mostly out of range. We're going to mark up the elf, because he's not dodging out. And sidestep means...
Hey, Ben, are you ready for 6 dice on a sidestep player that doesn't work?
Yep, certainly am.
I know my body is ready.
Oh, we're not going for... Oh, we are, right. Catch strength 2. I forgot.
Hey, look, it didn't work. Reroll. Doesn't work.
Oh my God.
9 dice. What are pals?
Who knows? Jump up. Into the punch. And we don't find it because block, sadly.
Ball carrier block. Triple skull. No, just kidding.
Why not at this point?
Finds a POW and actually armor breaks.
Turns out the ball carrier can do it, but he has the ball, so that's not really what you want. Oh, well, we send the one-turner back to space to keep him safe, I guess.
We do.
Would also have 4 players on the field, and they don't 5 players, and they don't care about it.
This is ballsy.
It's a lot of dice he just rolled.
Yeah.
Turns out it's fine.
4 plus 2 plus 1 die block, 2 plus dodge.
Elves, man. Well, hand off to the berserker and run, perhaps? Or
No, that was a 2 plus wild animal blitz that failed.
Or do we just run with the Ulf? They're both close to leveling.
You run with the Ulf because there's no script ball, I think.
Yeah, and there's not really much of a chance of you actually winning at this point. So you might as well take SPP on the player who would like it, which I think at this point is the Ulf, because he's at 26.
Yeah, you can get, I mean, I guess stand firm. I don't actually know how Ulfs develop
Juggernaut?
beyond. Yeah.
Tackle?
We're going to see a sack attempt. Oh. Because of the positioning of this Ulf, this is a 1 die and it's a POW.
Of course it's a POW. There's a lot of ways you could build that Ulf.
It's true. Ulfs tend to be the support pieces simply because and this hero thrower.
This thrower is a monster.
Pass gets the job done. Does he catch it? He does, of
course.
Pass
and accurate gets the job done, in fact. He needed both pass and accurate to make that.
He did. Yes.
And now the War Dancer has the ball. And there are like 4 elves on the pitch. This is great.
Alright, Yeti.
I'm sorry, as in Mike, but this is funny. This would have been infinitely frustrating to play, but watching it afterwards is very entertaining for me, so I hope you at least know that I have been entertained. Here comes the Yeti.
It's a push. I'm waiting for the failed GFI. Failed GFI. Let's do it. Nope.
Try again.
Doesn't get a knockdown now.
This Yeti is
goes to the loner.
And fails the loner. This Yeti is useless.
Welcome to Yetis.
He's rolled like 100 dice and has gotten like 2 POWs.
I mean, he's gotten 0 knockdowns this turn.
Oh my god. Give me nothing. No knockdowns.
Oh, he got one. Even with Mighty Blow.
Foul him. A thrall away from pitch clearing Vamps.
Yeah, that's not fun to watch, Jeff. That's just mean. This is at least entertaining. I really wanted them to snake that.
Oh, he
dodge.
failed. Oh, so did I.
4-0 for my state.
4-0. Also,
true.
I really like
good.
MyStay's team theme, and I like how his Pokemon have sort of like dispersed throughout the league. Like everybody has a MyStay's Pokemon.
Yep. No, I mean I played Dark Elves this week in AD English, and I have 1 tackle piece, and that 1 tackle piece did an ungodly amount of work.
I play them
also,
this week.
Prehensile Tail is really good. I didn't hurt them; I just beat them really badly.
Welp. Do we go for the Norse one-turner? You can't. Actually, you might be able to. That's a lot of frenzy.
Yeah, you might be able to.
1, 2, 3,
a lot
4.
of KOs coming back for the Wood Elves. Not that it matters, but it does mean they can put shittier players on the line of scrimmage, which is nice for them.
7 players with 3 frenzy. I have no idea if that's possible. Not a clue.
I think so because his plus movement players are both out, aren't they?
I mean, it's movement 6, which I know you can do with 11 players, but like, I think you don't have enough players to get all the. Even though you have frenzy, I don't think you have enough players to actually block up.
I mean, the issue is I don't think you go for it simply because hey, look, the Yeti did a thing.
Nice.
Good for you, Yeti. The thrower finally broke.
At least you on turn 16.
Yep.
2 SPP for the Yeti finally. I don't think it's possible simply because you need the bodies to be like the blocks so that you actually can chain push. I think we just need more bodies to get.
I think
them
we're gonna
close.
see a 3-die from the Berserker here. I don't know about you, Ben.
That seems like it would make sense to me.
He finds a POW. The Berserker's even got enough to level right now. Oh, no, he is in fact injured.
There we go.
And he's fine. Badly hurt.
But
Not that you'd be too sad if your sidestep diving tackle guy ate shit. I like the covering of the ball, but not... I guess you don't want a GFI because a GFI is a risked armor roll.
Yeah.
Oh, he did put this guy in range, though, and he is gonna... No, he's fine.
You're ahead
he's
again,
not.
but it doesn't matter at this point.
Literally the last action of the game. And so it was a 4-0 win for MySpace.
Yeah, that's quite an elfening.
Yep. And Yingling, the AV busted lineman, who got AV busted on turn 1 or 2, gets the MVP to add insult to injury.
Yeah, at least there was a decent amount of we got some SPP. Got 10.
He got 10 whole SPP to the Wood Elves 11, 19, 21, 23.
Yeah, that's fine.
Seems fair to me.
All right, we're back on the title screen, and that's so that we can go get you into our next game without spoiling anything.
Yep. Next up is Doof versus Morley.
And the reason
neither coach wanted us to cast this one, which means that we're absolutely going to cast it.
Mm-hmm. And also the big deal is that this is the only match of the million that existed this week where we differed on our predictions. So this is kind of one that is going to actually matter for our overall score. So I'm
trying to look up what the prediction was. I think I know what it was based on Morley's comment, but
I predicted Morley, and you predicted Doof, I believe.
Yes. Well, no spoilers, as it were.
Okay, well, let's get through these cinematics at the start, and I will pause once we get to
let me get in there.
Setup and wait for you to catch up. We do have a star player on behalf of Morley, which is kind of fun. Don't see him very often. He is a good one, though.
I haven't caught up to see who it is, but I will check in a moment.
I hit pause the moment I was capable of doing so. And close games are another reason that we'd like to watch. All right, let's...
Oh, we got a Magic Dome.
All right,
That's boring.
I'm going to bring us in game. Let me know when you're good to go.
I am paused.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, we got a Magic Dome, but we have Setek for Morley, which is a fun...
He is quite good, yeah. Strength 4 Blitzer with Break Tackle, Juggernaut, and Strip Ball.
Yep. He's a good way of... he's pretty common for Khemri, honestly, because it's a good way of doing something more proactive on defense, other than just putting Tomb Guardians in the way and hoping. And for undead teams and stuff, it's another strength 4 piece, which is kind of nice to have. He's expensive though, if I recall correctly, but he's a good piece.
He is.
Let me check actually.
I was gonna check. I'm already there.
There you go.
Who will win?
Well, if you're already there, I'm just gonna stop trying.
That means I win. He's 220k, so
that's what I had in my mind too. Boom.
He's 30k cheaper than Slibbly, and I would rather have Slibbly any day. But they do different things, admittedly.
And also, undead teams can't get Slibbly.
I know. I only play teams that can get Slibbly.
Lizards.
I think Slan technically can as well.
They can because they were Slan and not Kislev. But Slan were sort of retconned, as it were.
They were.
They were given the squat treatment.
I like this from Morley. I don't like Doof's setup. I think you should have set up more spread out so that Morley couldn't get so many good positions on these line pieces. As it stands, these mummies are going to get good blocks for days.
Yeah, the only thing I think you'd do is take your whole rule of 5 and move it back 2 squares. I think that would
I think you spread out the guys on the line. Ooh, no armor break and a send-off on the dirty player.
Well,
unlucky for Morley.
That's a start. Did he have
a snake?
Nope. He has a babe.
It was a 6. I don't like the... I mean, I feel like you should have just picked up the ball. You have Agi4 sure hands. Foul is the last action of your turn if you don't have a bribe. I think we're going to see a blitz coming in on Setback. He is only AV8, and there is a lot of Mighty Blow floating around.
Well, and he's a big threat, honestly, the strip ball.
The piling on is not in range, and this is a frenzy trap.
He gets it, though.
Not punished.
Not like, it's not the most trappy of frenzy traps. It's a 2 into a 1. It's not like a 2 into an uphill or anything.
Yeah, not the worst.
So, honestly, I forgot to pick up the ball. Well...
We'll make an undead player out of you yet.
You should just play Khemri, because when you forget to pick up the ball, you're like, yeah, it's just part of the plan.
I'm not willing to risk the 4+ right now.
Yeah. And then you get more mummies. You get 4 of them. What's not to love?
Oh, I thought that was a mummy block. It would have been from the block mummy, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. And then we did do a block mummy, and it didn't matter, because he got both down as well. So we blitzed the...
Blitzer getting blitzed. Yeah, makes sense. Ooh, commits to the reroll. He does have 4? Why does he have 4?
He got one on the kickoff.
Okay, then I like that then.
Yeah, so do I. It's a free reroll. You can spend it on something that'll stop you from taking potentially a frenzy block next turn.
Ooh, does take the both down because he used the reroll though, and the ball is currently exposed because of that.
Exposed, like in the most technical sense, I guess.
No, all you have to do is block this zombie off, and you've got a free path to the ball. I mean, it's standing next to guard.
He doesn't really have anybody who can reach though, not easily.
Sure, I mean all these blitzers. The both down does ruin that though. I don't think this. Oh, this blitzer can make it too. Actually, the Michael Morkel Croyton. Oh, but he does not blitz. Okay, Doof getting very involved here. Makes sense. He outguards the undead. You really want to put pressure on them.
Trying to remove the guard and putting tackle in the ball, I think also makes sense, especially since he got an injury.
Ooh, on Flare Shy going down. That is a key piece for the undead, and it is not a regen. So that is out for the game.
The guard is a big deal, so going for the guard makes sense, and it's also just putting 2 tackle zones on this ball. One of them being tackle, so like that ghoul can't dodge away easily. So you don't need to sack the ball this turn, which I think is fine.
Yeah, I don't think you needed to do the 1 die, and I think Doof played this pretty well. He could have cut the corner for the 1 die, even given the both down, but this is fine. He's got all of Morley's players tied up in quite a bit of guard. So the mummies are going to get good blocks, and this blitzer is going to get a good block. That's pretty much it. And
Setek has a block being strength 4, yeah.
Setek, whatever.
The downside is he can't actually remove one of the blitzers from the ball because the piece he blocked had guard, so it would have been a 1 die on the...
It's going to go in with the Wrestle Ghoul, which makes sense. Commits the reroll, does not get it.
This doesn't free up... even if he did get that knockdown, it doesn't take the ghoul off tackle, which is the more annoying part. Okay, it's fine.
I mean, it's still an Agi4 ghoul, so
yeah,
odds were good that it was going to get away. But
it was a 3+2+ with no reroll because tackle, and he already used the reroll in the block.
It's true.
But he's much safer being surrounded by
there's a 1 die skull. Ooh, double skull.
Oh no!
I don't like that 1 die. I mean, I know it was with Wrestle, but I don't think you needed to do that.
This is very different from the last game. The turns are going so much faster. It's hard to keep up, honestly.
Yep. Oh god, with the manic pace the replays go at, so he can actually clear a path for himself here pretty easily.
Yep, and the mummies will have not a problem blocking these guys down because there's none. All the guard is committed off to the left. There's not a whole lot next to the mummies.
Ooh, I would have followed that, but this is fine, I guess. The Agi4 Ghoul is going to space. He's going to go hang out with this guy, who I assume is getting blitzed, yes.
Yeah. This is a little risky. If it doesn't work, you're based up on Mighty Blow.
Yeah, but you can push him onto the mummy.
Yeah, but if you happen to double skull that or whatever, then that was super bad.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when you're in this position, the happen to double skull scenario is just a reality, right?
I suppose. I mean, if it was me, I would have double skulled that.
I mean, if it was me last game versus Gengar, I would have double skulled it.
I got more double skulls than you did when in my REL game than your clan game.
I rolled 5.
So did I.
How'd you roll more than?
I think I got 6.
It's the second clan game in a row where I've rolled 2 double skulls in the same turn. Not quad skulls, but I mean, it's effectively the same thing. Okay, so the Orcs are coming in to blitz the ball carrier finally.
This is with tackle, strip ball, mighty blow.
So strip ball does the job. Oh no, sure hands. It doesn't do the job.
He gets 2 shots at it though.
But because he's frenzied, that's a really good sacker.
Yeah, and tackle doing its job, and mighty blow doing its job.
That is a scatter though, right onto both mummies.
That's about as good a scatter as Morley could have hoped for there. He can't clear off all the tackle zones easily, but even if he does,
not now, where the Black Orc is almost certainly getting onto the ball, or not on the ball, but onto the mummy.
And then he doesn't have all the ghouls that are really capable of picking up here, are kind of far away. We do have the Agi White though, which could potentially try
could
some
do
nonsense.
some shenanigans.
Yeah.
You can clear both tackle zones now. You can clear all 3 with a blitz, I think.
Yep.
Oh, but you have no one to blitz with.
You could blitz with the
dodge out 3+, 2+ into a 2-die. Follow it, and in the case of a knockdown, you can do a 2+ pickup after a 2+ dodge, but that's a lot of dice. A lot of hits coming in and not a lot of damage. Oh, he's going for just
You can just pick it up with the ghoul.
No, he would have been a dodge, and he did not do it. He is doing what I suggested, I think.
Yeah. Using the Agi piece to blitz the last player off the ball, and you can then dodge again to pick it up. Uh-oh.
Does not snake it and gets the ball. That was a lot of dice.
It was, but it worked out. A lot of those dice were 2+ though, so I mean it wasn't unreasonable.
Throw enough 2+s and first action 1 die.
Well, into a that's very Doof-like though. To be fair, that's a thing that Doof would that I would not put past Doof.
I feel like he's going to take that comment the wrong way, Ben.
Probably.
Okay, so the ball is about as surrounded as it could get, both by friendly players and the enemy. This is an incredibly punchy match where nothing is exploding. It's the opposite of last game. Yeah,
very...
I mean, I guess the Orcs have the numbers advantage by 2, but only one of those is an injury.
Yeah, and
2 of those are injuries.
Well, there goes Setek. He didn't do his job very well.
He didn't regen either, so that's that. No mighty blow. That was a 9 into a 12.
That's
9 into an 11.
Well, that's 220k off the field.
I mean, by this point in the game, morally, I think the Norse and the Wood Elves had beat each other down to 6 players each. So
yeah. We also have we've barely crossed the line of scrimmage. Like, this is such a bash matchup. I love it. It's so good.
Oh, there's a 1 and 9.
Just like a pile of orcs on these mummies. The 2 guard mummies. Like, if one of these 2 mummies didn't have guard right now, this would be over for the undead, right? But the fact that they have 2 strength 5 pieces with guard standing next to each other makes them so hard to shift that, like, these 2 mummies are doing work right now, and it's really good.
Yeah, this is why you often see deep benches on undead. They tend to suffer a bit of attrition. Oh, there goes the ball. And a stun on the Agi 4 white. Spells basically no chance of score for the undead, barring some really stupid shenanigans. Oh, that's a good scatter for them, though.
I don't know where it went. I haven't seen it yet. That's not good. Or that's less good. Well, actually, all the orcs are basically tied up, so it's not really the end of the world.
This mummy is eating blocks like a champ.
That's what I'm saying, man. These mummies are doing their job so hard. Stand firm is so good.
Underrated skill, for sure.
Uh-oh. Zombie's fine. Just a stun. But we can block the zombie off the ball, and then we don't really have a free player to pick it up, though, because these mummies...
Sure, you have an orc lineman. Orc linemen are notoriously good at picking up the ball.
I mean, you do now, but, like, he had to use his entire team to free up 1 player, and almost all of that was just on the mummies. Like, the mummies are heroes.
Going for the scoring threat, which is sensible.
Yep.
Wrestles him to the floor, so no picking up the ball for him.
No. Well, yeah, the big deal is it's turn 7, and you just really don't want to have your opponent score on your drive. If you can finish 0-0, that's okay. You'd prefer 1-0 certainly, but as long as it doesn't end up 0-1, you are pleased, I think.
Yep.
Right, line of orcs, what do we do now? And I imagine the answer is punch the mummies now that we've got them separated from each other?
It was almost a 1 in 9.
Oof, that could have been real bad.
I mean, you had to take risks, I guess. You might have been able to free that player up, but... Oh, that was an attempted pass. Now it's an inaccurate pass.
There was an attempt. All right, here comes the inaccurate pass. Well, he doesn't get it, so that'll be a turnover.
I'm not in love with that. You could have screened off before making that pass. I think you could have played that a bit safer.
You had a lot of blocks, too. That you could.
Hey, look, the Agi4-Ghoul's got it and has run away.
This game is really dumb. I have the ball. No, I have the ball. No, I have the ball. Just like repeat over and over again. At least that blitzer doesn't have tackle, so basing him up with the ghoul is actually not the worst. Just to keep your ball slightly safer to prevent like a free 2-die. Like he has a 1-die without block or tackle currently from the lineman. So it's not really that likely to knock over the it's a 1 in 6 to knock over the ghoul.
Yes, but the wrestle tackle lineman on the other hand has an easy time of it.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to dodge if he wants to.
No, he's not. I meant the rookie.
Oh, no, I meant going after the ball.
Piles onto a mummy. I guess at this point I understand it rather.
Yeah, it's turn 8. It's fine. Finds no result, and the zombies are so tied up that they're not going to be able to foul. Anyway,
he's getting some good mighty blow hits here, though. This could be some damage.
We'll find out.
So far.
The orcs sound like they're charging their lasers when they hit.
Finds a POW on the rookie. So you go for the 2+. Oh, fouls with the plus strength lineman. Raisin.
That's aggressive.
Yeah. That is
wrestle.
The end of the half.
Well, Morley did well to, keep that as 0-0. You get kind of stuck up in the middle.
I skipped everything, so let me know when you get to setup.
Oh, okay.
So thanks to the 3 bench, Morley is not down in numbers despite 3 perms.
Yep. Well, yeah, one of the perms. Well, one perm, really.
It is a permanent removal.
Okay. I assume you meant, yeah.
I know.
One of them doesn't matter because it's a star player.
Setup yet?
One of them is... Oh, yeah, we're setting up now.
You might be a bit ahead.
That's fine, because you're always ahead. So it'll catch up.
Truth.
All right, well, now we go into the Orcs drive. It's still a pretty good shot from Morley here, considering those Agi pieces are around, and if he can, pop the ball free, Agi 4 can do a thing, especially when there are 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, being down the guard, Mighty Blow White hurts, and being down Sadak certainly is an unfortunate thing. And even the Dirty Player Skeleton is a pretty key piece, but he's still got both mummies, he's still got an Agi White, he's still got an Agi Ghoul, so...
You mean the meme skeleton?
The meme skeleton. Dirty Player Skeleton, hashtag have 1 skeleton for fouling.
Quick snap.
Oh, you were ahead of me.
That's fine.
Spoilers.
I'm streaming, though, so I can spoiler, because I'm not ahead of the stream. Which is what matters. If I'm ahead, it's okay. If you're ahead, you say stuff before everybody sees it.
It's true, and Doof gets to field his disgusting Agi 4 accurate strong arm orc thrower.
Yeah, this is a gross green elf. He wasn't good, and then he got Agi, and now he looks like a genius.
Oh, that was a 1 in 9 risk. I don't like taking that block first.
If those skills were in a different order, he would look brilliant. Like if it was Agi strong arm.
And because of that follow, he's giving up a block on this strength 4 piece, unless he blitzes the zombie, which he very well might. But I still think taking the 1 in 9 risk block first is, well, risky.
Risks are risky. News coming at you live from Shadorra.
I know. My hot take. 1 in 9's riskier than 1 in 36's. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. After the break, we'll determine what 2 + 2 is. The answer may surprise you.
No, getting aggressive with these blitzers. A little exposed. Could take a retaliatory Mighty Blow hit, though they are AV9, so...
I like how the thrower went up one space. He's like, never mind. We'll just go back. On replay, that looks funny because he goes forward and back, but I imagine in reality there was like a several second pause there while he thought like counted spaces and stuff.
Probably, yes.
But I think it's funny. On the replay, the thrower goes, huh, and then just returns.
Yep.
Mighty Blow Blitz. Gonna hit the Orc. Trying to remove one of these guard pieces here. And we do. So that's a big deal. And we get the weird glitch where there's 1,000 pluses on the screen. High caliber Blood Bowl plays here, Jeff. High caliber.
Tony Morkison out for the count.
Removals, that helps. I mean, considering that Morley was still at 11 players, right, because of the zombie bench, he is now up a player, right? On the field currently, it is 11 on 10. So
and it's a very big removal. I mean, that was one of Duke's, not his best blitzer certainly, but guard Mighty Blow is nothing to sniff at. And that player is 2 SPP away from a level, so Duke was a bit sad that he is down for the count, I suspect.
Yeah, the guard is a big deal because it makes it harder to deal with the guard mummies.
Oh, look, there was a 1 in 9. Look, 1 in 9s. They happen. Stop rolling 1 in 9 chance blocks after you've used your reroll.
I mean, you're okay. I don't know where you are.
Kaz on Derpy Wolves.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Regen, though.
Yep, we're fine.
Blitz coming in on the Wrestle Ghoul.
Well, I'm a bit ahead, but that's okay.
Yeah, I know.
That's fine.
I'm like skipping every cinematic aggressively, hoping to catch up.
It's not really a problem because you don't spoil things this way.
I do kind of telecast them a little bit behind the action, though.
Well,
with an unconventional cage because he.
It's an eye cage. You can't quite make it.
Has a spicy 1 die.
Oh, we find it though. And we have a hit from the mummy on one of those nice blitzers too, which is a little scary. And Painbow Dash goes off on another crusade to try to remove more blitzers, but we do not find William Shorkspear made of sterner stuff. Stand firm, dodge. Just. Ugh. Blodge firm guard. Turns out it's pretty good.
Most annoying piece ever.
Only way to make it more annoying is if it had foul appearance.
Oh, that's a target for the Mighty Blow pile-on blitzer to finally pile onto something and maybe cause some damage.
It certainly is.
If you're Doofier, I think you're not worried about making forward progress. You really just want to cause some damage.
The forward progress would be nice.
I guess, but it's not necessary.
Well, you would like to win eventually, and it turns out movement 5
but it's
is
turn 11.
slow.
You don't want to get pinned in, so...
No, positioning is more important, but like the thing is with movement 5 and Orcs, if you have the opportunity to go forward, it's kind of not good to not take it, just because...
Yes, but now his ball is kind of exposed.
You might not have another opportunity to move forward, and with movement 5, you can't really have the option of waiting for the best opportunity. You just kind of need to take it sometimes, I think. His ball is exposed in that he has we have a block mummy that can oh, that's guard. Oh, but this is zombie. Double skulls. Good start. I was gonna say the mummy can hit the black orc, and that would let the zombie like 1 die the thrower if you really wanted to, but that's aggressive. Instead, he likes to go after the scoring threat. And Painbow Dash continues his hunt for blitzers, and this time finds a stun. Ghoul frees himself up from Mork Twain. Now we'll see where Doof elects to go. I imagine we're going to punch Rarity Meat 2.0 really hard in the face and then move up to that side. Depending on how the blitz goes, obviously. We do find the knockdown into a KO. So no need to pile on here. Just to mark up the Agi-Ghoul. It is tackle, so that helps a little bit.
It's better than nothing, certainly.
I mean, it's still a 2+, but it's a 2+ you can't reroll. At least not for free. We have to reroll the double both downs. But we do KO a zombie for it.
Again, this is him rolling 1 in 9 risks while his ball is exposed. Do all of the cage motions at the same time, because those are free and fairly risk-free. So move the ball. Though he can't actually make this ball safe now that I look at it.
No.
He can make it kind of safe. This is fairly... No, because you can just dodge right through. It's a 1 dodge. Yeah, I was going to say, you can just... Oh, never mind. With 2 dodges here, actually technically 3, you could have done a 2 die on the ball. But I guess he's not too concerned about that because he can now put a bunch of players on the ball.
Yeah, this is... he has a lot of players that are capable of making it to the ball now.
I don't think Doof needed to move up this aggressively. He moved away from all of his players.
I would have stayed near the Black Orcs, I think.
You can't outpace your Black Orcs. They are, of course, your slowest pieces, but they're also your strongest. So, ooh, some spicy GFIs from Scootadoom, who is living up to his name. Are we going to see a Mummy GFI? No.
No, he just stops. Applejack Hammer utilizing that movement 4, though, certainly. All right, Doof, how do you proceed to remove these players from your ball? The answer is you can probably remove 1 to 2 of them, and then you have to dodge.
I don't like prioritizing the zombie.
No, and the best he can do on the white is a 1 die currently, and it's a 1 die. It is a 1 die with wrestle though, so it's not the end of the world, I guess.
Oh, and he wastes his reroll on a player that doesn't matter.
Followed by failing a dodge.
Oh man, Doof.
So now,
I mean, that was an unfortunate punish for a low odds issue, but
now there's a
you are
mummy
definitely,
on the ball.
Yep. I mean, the ball is just going to get smacked. Spoilers.
And we find the POW after a reroll. Oh, and we find a stun too, which is that matters.
The 1 AV8 piece on the line.
Well, it also matters because it's like his best option of picking up the ball, right? And
and the scatter is amazing for the ghoul.
Yeah, and goodbye, says Twilight Slaughter.
Later, there is very, very little that Doof can do to stop this. Just push up the side.
Although we fail at dodge to turn over, but it turns out it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think moving the thrower up there probably was a mistake. You had a couple turns. I think you could have afforded to stay back near your Black Orcs and not expose the ball like that.
Yeah, I think the issue Cunning Fox Pup was that he I don't know where that player was going. Dub Skull, yeah. Unfortunate. I think he should have prioritized blitzing one of the front players off so that the thrower had a chance at just a 2+ to score, right? Like the thrower was in scoring range, maybe with a GFI, I don't remember the details. But you ended up rolling extra dice because you were trying to bring in assists to take the white down, but you should have just prioritized taking the white down with the blitz from the 4 strength linemen instead of rolling additional dice that resulted in a 1 in 9 fail.
For reference, it would have been a 2+2+ for the thrower because it would have been a 2+ dodge and a 2+ GFI.
Yeah, so that was more my point.
And now Twilight Slaughter is away on turn 14. So
yep, this is going to be game.
I would imagine so.
Nothing really the Orcs can do. This Black Orc can technically reach. He just has to dodge through a couple of tackle zones.
Just a couple.
Just a casual. Well, he's
no,
gonna
handsome Tim.
Rip handsome Tim.
Not so handsome anymore, are you?
Oh, and another failed dodge.
Yep.
The dice have taken a dark turn.
This is a dark chapter in our history.
Yeah, Doof is not scoring and not stopping this score.
No, Morley can just get out of range of every Orc player, and then he can score on turn 16 and win this game. Considering it was Doof's drive, Doof has no way of like one-turning or anything to even this up. So that is going to be game, certainly.
We'll watch it out to make sure there's no surprise deaths or other fun shenanigans. If you zoom out far enough, the magic dome effect goes away. That's neat. Oh, Apple Jackhammer is indeed injured on a both down. Yeah, that is a 1 in 9, but he regens.
Yeah, no animation means that we will see a regen on that. Well, this is where Doof punches players and sees if he can get some SPP. Mork Twin would level with an injury here. Nope.
Pile on.
He does.
Does not get it, though.
No reason not to. I think the most frequent pile-on animation I've seen is Orc Blitzers. You see it on Orc Blitzers so much, and less.
Are we
so
turn 6? Ooh, we are turn 16 fouling.
Respect foul.
On the white, who gets badly hurt but regens. A good old BM regen.
From a respect foul.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the first pile-on of the game.
The game to no, it's not. He piled on a mummy.
Right,
in the first.
He did, yeah. Well, that's a victory for Morley and Friendship is Massacre, which, if I recall correctly, was my prediction. Haha.
I think so. I failed to actually go find the video because I took out the paper to free a spider from my apartment.
I can go check, certainly, and I will do so. Let's see.
Found it.
Yep, I predicted Morley.
All right, so let's go to the... Now that I've got the stuff up, let's go to the standings for this week and see how we did.
Div 6 first.
Sure.
Okay, so schedule from last week. We had Fogmire Fenbeasts and All Orc No Play. Here we both predicted the Orcs would win, and we are both correct in that the Orcs managed to win it over the Lizards here. 2-1. 10 number breaks for both sides. More blocks for the Lizards than the Orcs, so Lizards doing Lizard things and being sort of pitch control-y, I guess, making it hard for the Orcs to get good blocks. But the Orcs got some more... A very bloodless game. Several KOs on both sides, but no like actual injuries. I imagine a lot of those KOs ended up just being skinks.
Yep. Skinks are easy to remove.
Turns out. You know, it looks like a fairly typical sort of 2-1 grind.
Yeah, and I mean, Orcs are pretty good at fighting Lizards, so I'm not surprised. Unfortunate MVP for the Lizards on a rookie skink is not exactly where you want to see it. And on that Blitzer is fine, though that Blitzer is basically done. So unless he rolls a stat or a double, it's not really someone you want to level up.
No, but that looks to me like an incredibly typical 2-1 sort of grind. The Orcs just happen to have the ball more often, so you know, Lizards, Orcs, you know, Lizards scored, Orcs scored, Orcs scored.
It must be noted that the Lizards rolled more than twice as many skulls as they did POWs, so that might have had something to do with it.
Probably. I know that feel, bro. That's impressive, though. That's really impressive.
Yep, 34 skulls to 16 POWs.
Dead Wrestler Society and Hufflepuff Heroes. I streamed actually live, so if you were around to see that, you saw the results.
The Lizards over the Khemri, and we were right.
Yep, Lizards won 1-0. I streamed this one live, so the video should be on my Twitch VODs somewhere if you're interested in going to check it out. It was not as interesting as I expected it to be, but it was a good match. But I was really excited to see what the weird Khemri players were going to do, and the like triple doubles Tomb Guardian even pulled MVP out of it. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, eventually he's going to get Mighty Blow, and it'll be great. Or Break Tackle, I guess, because he's kind of a natural blitzer. Yep. And then we have Jeff versus BioWare for Life. So vampires versus what else? We predicted the Wood Elves, I think.
And it turns out the Wood Elves won 3-0.
I don't... Where are they on here, actually?
Oh, we didn't predict them because this match had already happened when we recorded
yes.
our zero, or it happened like 20 minutes before we played recorded our last
And guess
week.
what? Wood Elves did stupid Wood Elf things. They got a perfect MVP on the catcher who had done 1 Vanity Pass, so he is leveled up, which is really nice.
Yep.
And the Vamps got it on a Thrall, which is fun.
Yeah, it turns out Wood Elves just annihilated the vampires here in every sense of the word. 4 KOs, 4 injuries.
Yep, just pitch cleared Vamps.
7 casualties sustained, 5 KOs sustained, so several bites causing casualties and stuff too. Yeah.
Yep, and then Rouge's Gallery versus Economy of Scale was Lizards versus Chorfs. We predicted the Chorfs, but the game has not been played, so we're going to call that a null result.
Yeah, because if it has... Well, has this one been rolled yet?
No, it hasn't.
So it might go to... I don't know if that's going to be an admin thing or not, but...
I haven't been looking at the channel, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we have the bad QB squad, Skaven versus Rage Dwarfs. We predicted the Dwarves would win, and they did.
It's Underworlds, not Skaven.
It is indeed. Is it?
Yep.
I believe you.
Well, he has animosity, which is the big hint there. But yes, so we predicted the Dwarves were going to beat the Underworld, and we were correct in that. Mad Dwarf grabs the MVP and levels, so he's mighty able piling on. Presumably, he'll get something cool.
Jump up is what he got.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice time for a double.
Yeah, 18 armor breaks.
Yep. 4 KOs, 4 injuries again. Actually, the Dwarfs sustained 4 injuries. Do the Underworld have Claw? I think they do. So, might be that the surgical removals from the Underworld were keeping up with the Dwarfs, but the KOs kind of got out of hand.
Yeah, and the Dwarves managed to... Like, I don't imagine this being a very... a Dwarf controlled game, because they did lose a bunch of their own players. But I imagine that, like... if the removals were good ones, like on the Skaven players or whatever, and the Underworld had to contend with goblins, that would have been pretty easy for the Dwarves. But I feel like this might have been like Dwarves eking out a score somewhere, and then just the Skaven or the Underworld not having enough players to like rescore.
Exactly. Yeah, the Undead have 2 Claw Mighty Blow. In fact, and one of them is Pylon. I'll be right back.
Sure. I will move on. Next, we had the Respectable Gents and the Average Race Joes. So we've got Lizards and Chaos. Here we predicted Lizards to win, and we were wrong, considering the Chaos beat them 2-0. So that's minus points for both of us, I guess. 11 armor breaks versus 14 armor breaks. Average Race Joes sustained 4 casualties and 3 KOs. So I imagine that's what happened there. Like, the Lizards can get snowballed. Like, Lizards are one of the teams that are very vulnerable to snowballs, in that if you can remove Saurus, it becomes very hard to like keep up with other teams, like in terms of like the pitch control bash game. So if those removals were Saurus's, then that could have really helped out the Respectable Gents. Certainly, not a whole lot of ball possession for the Chaos. Interestingly enough, this very well may have been like pop the ball free score quickly, like twice. Which is kind of interesting.
Who are you talking about? Respectable
Gents and the Average Race Joes, which we got incorrect.
We did. We predicted the Lizards would win, and they very much did not.
Yep. They suffered a bunch of injuries, so I imagine they sort of suffered the Lizard problem of you lose 1 Saurus, so it becomes easier to lose 2 Saurus, and then it becomes easier to lose 3 Saurus, and then you just sort of lose the game when you have no Saurus. Because there were several injuries sustained.
Yep.
Although the Chaos didn't really have the ball very often, so I imagine this was like I was just saying. There's probably a lot of block the ball carrier, steal the ball score instead of like slow grind for Chaos. But that is a win for Chaos. And lastly, we just saw the elements of styling all over.
Jeff was just saying that there's no claw for the Chaos, and they only have 2 Mighty Blow. But the apparently the injury dice were nuts.
I believe it.
They were pretty bad.
I would believe it. So there you go, and we predicted the Wood Elf win there, I believe too, right?
The Lizard sustained 46% armor breaks.
So, if I've counted this correctly, we should both be at what?
We are. I am at.
Well, we've only done currently. We should be at 2, 4, 0, 0, 6, and then -1 is 5, and then +1 is 7. So we should both be at 7 points currently after Division 6, I think, right?
No, because you got one right and I got one. Oh no, never mind.
We haven't done 7 yet. So after that, we have a leaderboard that looks like this. It's not particularly exciting because there's been one game. We have 6 teams with 1 win and 6 teams with 1 loss. Hooray! Shall we predict next week?
Sure.
So we have all orc no play versus Rouge's Gallery. So we haven't actually seen Rouge's Gallery play yet because they haven't played this week yet. But that's a Super Claw Chorf team versus an orc team.
I mean, normally you'd give this to the Chorf so they can get the early removals, but I don't know what the deal with Rouge's Galleries is. I don't know who is kind of ghosting on that game, so...
Yeah. And the Orcs, they have some development. They have a lot of black Orcs. They've got a bunch of benches of linemen. They've got some good-looking, some blitzers and stuff. 1590 versus 1620. With the Chorf players... Or, that's the wrong team. Oops. 1770. With the Chorf players that exist, I think I want to give this to Chorfs.
Agreed.
So then we have BioWare for life against the bad QB squad. So that's
Underworld as the second coach versus
Vamps.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, this should be a fun one. Maybe we'll take a look at this game for... Actually, we won't.
Vampire team has mostly survived. A very wrestle-heavy vampire team. There's still only block on all the Vamps. One is blodge, and then a bunch of wrestle pieces. They really don't have a lot of development. They don't have any removal potential. Certainly, they have no mighty blow,
no tackle,
and they are facing. And they have no tackle, but there's no dodge on the
yes, there is.
Underworld team. Oh, there is, right? The goblins.
All the goblins are dodge.
Right, but block is good enough. The real concern are the Skaven Blitzers. So there's only 2 Mighty Blow because they have prioritized getting kind of claw and block and stuff.
But there is the 1 claw Mighty Blow piling on piece for the Underworld who is going to like kill a thrall every turn. And when the Vamps run out of the thralls, they lose the game.
It's true. I think I want to give this to the Underworld, but it's actually pretty close.
I was going to say Underworld as well, so...
I'm going to say Vamps to be spicy.
Sure, there you go. I'll give it to Underworld. We have the Hufflepuff Heroes and the Respectable Gents. So that's the Khemri. And we have the Chaos that just diced the lizards to death. Well, I mean, if the Chaos could do that to lizards, can I do it to Khemri?
They will have a tougher time. They do have a plus strength Chaos Warrior, which is a start. Plus strength block, even.
Yeah, that's a pretty good piece. That's, you know, a big guy without a nega trait.
Yeah,
and
none of the high... Yeah, right, they have 4+ movements. I remember this Chaos team.
Yeah, well, they're going to out-movement the Khemri pretty hard with all that +7. Or all that +7, all that plus movement, certainly. I don't know. Like, I don't want to go against the Chaos because of what they just did, but, like, my gut tells me...
Oh, but the Khemri are stat freaks, too. They've got a plus Agi Blitz Rod, they've got a plus Strength Skeleton. My
gut tells me Khemri, basically because I want them to win more than anything else, because I think this Khemri team is fun. But that's not an easy choice. Like, I don't actually...
I think I'm going to go Khemri.
So let's go with Khemri there. We've got the Foul Targets and the Average Race Joes. We've seen this before, haven't we?
Maybe.
Average Rice, who's going to be out as Croxagore. For some reason. I'm not sure why.
I mean, it probably was MNG'd.
I don't see an MNG. Oh, I don't see an MNG like plus on it, though. I just see it grayed out when I click on the team.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
That's very strange. But that's just crap load of block, some mighty blow, Saurus.
0 tackle for average Rice, and we have
Yep.
seen the failings of no tackle versus Wood Elves.
Yeah, and is there a bunch of dodge on Jeff's team? There's enough on the players that matter, so I think I want to give that to the Wood Elves.
I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of dodge.
And we've got Economy of Scale and Rage Dwarf, so we've got the Lizard team that we haven't seen play because they haven't played yet. And we've got the Dwarfs. Dwarfs versus Lizards. That is so much guard. And the Lizards...
Rage Dwarf?
Yeah, and the Lizards don't have any guard, and they are actually missing block on one of their Saurus. Or 2 of their Saurus, and they're missing a Crocs. I want to give this to Dwarves.
Lizards are traditionally good against Dwarves, just because of the natural strength advantage. And the Dwarves are down one of their Troll Slayers, which is one of the way they equalize strength. But that said, they do have 5 guard left over.
And no Crocs, and 2 of the...
Wait, who are they playing?
Economy of Scale.
Economy of Scale. Where are they at?
They have
There's so many goddamn Lizards.
they have no Crocs, and they've got 2 Saurus that don't have block.
But they haven't had their weak roll yet, so they will have a Crocs.
Oh, right, that's true. Forgot about that. Maybe I will revise my pick, considering that they will have a guard Crocs available.
They'll have a guard Crocs, but that still is only 1 guard. The Frenzy, no, I still give it to the Dwarves.
Yeah, so do I. I'm going to stick with... It's closer than I thought it was going to be. But I will stick with the Dwarves there, I think, for Division 6. So those are our predictions for Week 2 for this division. For reference, we did predict the Chaos Dwarfs would beat the Lizards this week, but that game hasn't happened yet. So we'll have to update our score when we... if and when that gets played. If it doesn't get played, it just doesn't count. But if it does get played before the week gets rolled, maybe it's scheduled for tonight or something.
Why am I missing? Why am I missing a prediction?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't have the prediction for the Norse.
Norse?
Yeah, Greg Cold one. I think we just skipped Eisen Mike's team.
Did we? We must have.
We skipped both Eisen Mike and MyStay's teams. We just jumped from Hufflepuff Heroes to Foul Targets for some reason.
No, I guess we did. I don't know how we pulled that off, but okay. Fogmire, Fen Beasts, and Elements of Style.
So this is a Lizard team. Do they have tackle? Fogmire, Fen Beast. Where are you at, son?
They have 2 tackle, both on
Actually...
Mighty Blow Frenzy Saurus.
Right. One of which has Pro. That's actually a decent Lizard team for taking out
what else?
MyStay's team.
We have seen these Wood Elves style on people, though.
Still makes me twitch.
Wood Elves are going to have 0 bench, and it's going to be pretty easy for the Lizards to remove players. Like this.
Yeah, these are very Mighty Blow spammy. So
this could go either way, right? I think that this is if the Wood Elves, if the Lizards go first and can get control of the ball and spend 7 turns punching Wood Elves to death, the Lizards will win.
They're not going to be able to control the ball. They have 0 ball control skills, and it's against strip ball war dancers.
There's only 1 strip ball war dancer, right?
1 is all you need. It gets a natural 2 die against skinks. I think I like the Wood Elves here. I think the Wood Elves are going to get absolutely pummeled, but I think they will win.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
You should predict the Lizards to be interesting.
I mean, you just want me to say that so that you win.
I predicted the Vamps, and I honestly think the Underworld is going to win.
Fair enough. I think this could easily go either way, honestly. And that's not I think it'll be a tie. I mean, I think it depends really strongly on what the first 6 turns of this game look like, right? If, halfway through half 1, the Lizards have managed to remove a bunch of Elves, I think the Lizards win. And if they haven't, the Elves are going to be able to style on the Lizards. So, I think it depends very highly on what happens. So I guess to be spicy, I'll pick the Lizards. Why not?
Thank you for doing that in as long-winded a way as possible.
You're welcome. And we had the Dead Wrestlers Society and Great Cold Ones that we also missed somehow. So we have Eisenmike's Norse, who are missing players, certainly. Lots of loner linemen.
Yeah, Eisenmike's Norse versus the Dead Wrestler Society. Oh, I backed all the way
That's
out.
the really high TV lizards. They're a 2,000 TV lizard team. Or not quite, because they have a bunch of extra money. So it's 1920 or 1910.
So a bunch of guard, some break tackle, plus strength, mighty blow, niggle. Oh yeah, this team.
Yeah. Against a Norse team that'll get some inducements. They do have the Claw Yeti, but we saw how useless that Yeti was in the last game.
2 tackle for the dodge Norse. I actually kind of like the lizards here. The Norse are going to get 1 billion inducements. It's true.
Well, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they'll get 150k in loners, right? So that puts them at 1510.
So they get almost 400 or more than 400k of inducements. They only have 2 Mighty Blow. They're about to get a Mighty Blow piling on, I imagine, in this plus agi piece. Unless he does something weird with it, but which he could. It's an agi 4 berserker. Oof, this is actually kind of tough.
Yeah, I don't have a good choice here. The lizards are going to be able to guard and strength them pretty easily, but once again it comes down to if the Norse can get a couple good removals at the start, the lizards suddenly have a much harder time. But that's almost true with anybody who plays lizards. Like against lizards, if you can remove a Saurus or 2 at the start, you just win.
Yeah, but then the lizards are much more likely to remove Norse than the Norse are to remove lizards.
Yeah, there are 2 Mighty Blow.
I think this would be a really fun match to watch. It's going to really come down to how... well, there are 3 Mighty Blow if you count the Crocs, who is a block support. Yeah. So, I think I want to give this to the lizards, but it's going to be a really cool game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say lizards. That was like, I don't know. I could not logically decide, and I sort of closed my eyes and imagined, and the first name that came to mind was lizards, so we're gonna go with that.
There you go, you divined it. All right, we gotta pick things up. My family is on the way from the airport.
Cool, we have 1 division left. It's fine.
Do it.
So let's go to Division 7, and we can review the games that just occurred. Schedule. Day 1. Werewolf of Wall Street and Armor Furnace was a admin win, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, it's a 0-0.
Yeti to Conquer and the Rotting Snatches was a tie, so also 0-0 in terms of our scores.
Yep.
But we have 1 touchdown on both sides. Dead MVP for the Nurgle, which kind of sucks. Leveled lineman, but penetrated Igor.
Who is now plus strength, which we will review next week, but is funny for now.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of possession for the Nurgle. But the
Nurgle did get 5 Kaz to the... they both got 5 Kaz. It just turns out the Norse killed 2 people.
Yeah.
Big SPP game on both sides. We got 10, 16, 18 for the Nurgle, and 7, 8, 12, 15 for the Norse. So everyone walked away from that with some development.
The Nurgle lost some players, but they're probably just rotters, so who cares? And then in the first game where the score actually matters, we have Norse Unleashed versus Archangel's Will, where we predicted what here?
This is Welf versus Norse. Wait.
I don't have that one listed.
I have Welf versus Nurgle. Did we mess up our list? Oh no.
You messed it up then?
Did I?
Well, you wrote it down. I just copied what you wrote down.
No. All right, this already been played. This might have already been played.
Yes, because there is a Welf Nurgle match that was also a admin win.
Oh, okay. So
that was already played.
We're safe.
So far, none of these have contributed to the score whatsoever.
Lizards versus humans.
Yeah.
We predicted the humans, and they did.
Hooray!
We get points.
So that puts us at 9 total.
I just want to point out that I think this is Notniloc. I don't remember which minors coach this is. Got MVP on a dead loner skink, which is like that's kind of a culmination of shitty things.
A double kick in the teeth. Not only does it go to the loner skink, but the loner also died just to say fuck you. The catcher leveled though from the MVP, which is kind of cool. 2-0 for the humans. Humans look like they just had that game in control. Lizards never had the ball. Humans inflicted more injuries, KOs, and a kill. It looks like the lizards just got kind of styled on a little bit.
Yeah. Block dice were definitely in the humans' favor. Actually, no, they're pretty even.
Yep,
Yeah.
they're not too bad. The D6s went good for the humans, though. But a lot of that is probably armor, considering how many injuries they got and stuff. So we have the Sons of Sam and the Mesozoic Mighty Men. So Orcs versus Lizards. We predicted Orcs, and Lizards won. So we're back down to we're back down to 8 now, I think, right?
We are indeed down to 8.
So we got an MVP on Albert Fish, who is almost leveled, and we got an MVP on something Carl.
All right, this was Cake versus Teton.
Yeah, and Cake picked up the MVP on one of his already sidestep diving tackle skinks. So he's probably trying to decide whether he wants to fire him or not, depending on what that roll is.
I mean, if it's a normal, you fire 100%.
Well, he hasn't picked the level yet. It's still pending, so we don't know. But Cake...
I think it was a double. I think we talked about it.
Cake did win this. Mostly had the ball in his possession the entire time, so like way more blocks than the Orcs did. So I think this was just Lizards pitch controlling better than the Orcs did. Orcs got some KOs, but they probably were recovered after touchdowns, etc. And we had Authorcs and Friendship is Massacre, which we just watched, and I predicted a win for Morley, and Shadorra predicted a win for Doof. So that puts the final score for this week at 10 for me and 7 for you, because we were both at 9, or we're both at 8 there, and I go up 2.
The score is currently 10-7 in your favor.
Hooray! I feel like this two for a win, 1 for a loss thing is going to cause big swings, because it's essentially the same as 3 for a win, 0 for a loss, because you go down 1 and I go up 2, or vice versa if we predict opposite.
It's more interesting. Whatever. Who gives a shit?
Fair enough. Whatever. Leaderboard, once again, not very interesting, because we have 6 teams that won, some teams that lost, and 2 teams that tied. Unsurprisingly.
Want to get some predictions on the paper?
Sounds like a plan. Armor Furnace and Authorcs. I don't know what the deal is, because Armor Furnace didn't play this week. I don't know if that...
It looks like Armor Furnace is away. I was reading about this earlier.
Oh, yeah, he's on vacation or something, so he didn't get to play the first one.
Yeah, there's something going on there. So I think that's going to be an admin win. If it were not, where is Slow?
We've got 1,600 Chaos, so they're starting to get to the point where they're scary, considering there is one Claw Mighty Blow block. We've got a couple.
One Claw Mighty Blow is not going to be enough. The Norse, or the Orcs should beat the hell out of the... there's not enough support skills, so the Orcs are just going to outguard and muscle the Chaos to death. I would give this to the Orcs. I will write it down, even though I don't think it's going to happen.
160 above. Yeah, with how developed Doof's team is, I'm going to give this one to Doof and the Authorcs. We've got Morley again. Friendship is Massacre against the Sons of Sam, so Lord Teton. So we've got 1620 Orcs against where's Morley's team? 1580 Undead.
So the Orcs have 5 guard and 5 mighty blow.
Yep.
Morley has much less guard, much less mighty... Well, 1 less mighty blow, but more agi. I think I give this to the Orcs, though. Orcs are pretty good at fighting undead, especially once they're this developed. They're just going to punch the living hell out of Morley.
I think I'm going to go with Orcs, too, which means we don't have the Morley conundrum this time, so clearly Morley wins, and we're both wrong. But I'm going to predict... I will predict the Orcs as well here. Sorry, bud.
As always, our predictions are not personal. We love you all equally, except for Cake and Grad, who I hate.
Yeah, Mesozoic Mighty Men versus the Scaled Measures. So we've got a Lizardman mirror. So we've got 1770 Lizards versus 1640 Lizards, including an Agi 5 Skink and a Strength 5 Saurus with Break Tackle. Although, like, these Saurus are also very, like, busted up. There's several, like, MNGs or Niggles or our Armor Busts or what have you on Notniloc's team.
Yeah, and on the other hand, oh wait, no. So Velociraptor Vinny, the skink on Kakengrad's team that has block and plus movement. I'm almost certain that's a double. I think he was talking about it. So he was like, what do I take as a double on my block plus movement skink?
Sure hands?
You do, and it's fuck you is the answer to that question.
Uh,
but it is 100% sure hands. Having a Blodge sure hands plus movement skink is the grossest ball carrier. What do you even do against that?
Punch it a lot.
Punch it very hard.
I think like it's a Saurus, it's a lizard on lizard matchup. One team just has more skills. It has more like niggles and stuff, but I don't.
Normally, it goes to the more developed lizard, assuming that everyone else has. This is scaled measures, right? I'm looking at.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to scaled measures. That like the more developed lizard team, we've got some tackle. There's only one, but there is a tackle mighty blow, which is a good skink hunter.
It depends though, because of all the niggles and AV busts. A couple of bad injury rolls could easily send this in Cake's favor, and Cake has the better ball carrier.
It could, but Cake has a better ball carrier, but he has 0 mighty blow to take advantage of that niggle. If he had a couple of mighty blow, maybe like because he could take advantage of the niggles. But I think that I want to give this one to Notniloc and scaled measures personally. You can.
I want to give this to Cake, even though I don't like him very much.
Fair enough. So there's another contentious point. We've got Crawdad, Zydeco Experience, and the Rotterhood. So these are the humans that did really well. And we've got... where are they? Why can't I find them? There it is. 1730 Nurgle by Galactic. That's some serious Nurgle at this point. Up against...
And they're 10, 6, and 3 as rookie Nurgle. That's pretty gross. Wow, that plus Agi plus movement Pestigore. I think it was there last time, but man, is it gross.
We've got a 1370 human team, so that's a lot of inducements for the humans, but I don't think they're going to... They've only got one guard. They're going to get outstrengthed like crazy. They're missing a blitzer. I'm going to give this to Nurgle.
Yeah, they don't even get any loners.
They have 2 guard, I should say, I suppose. But the fact that they're only going to have... They have 3 block, or they have six block, but 3 of them are on catchers, or 2 of them are on catchers. That's easy blocks for the Nurgle, honestly.
But it is going to be Griffball. It's true.
Griffball is a thing. That's a good point. Can never count out Griff. Griff is a thing that exists. Thanks for reminding me of that.
They have the same amount of guard, technically.
Yeah, it turns out...
I think, though, all of the Mighty Blow... Like, Mighty Blow spam is incredibly effective against AV8, and there are 4 Mighty Blow on the Nurgle side, and the Claw... 2 Claw pieces kind of make it even more pronounced. So I think I still want to give this to Galactic.
Yeah, and we have... The Beast of Nurgle might be able to accomplish some nonsense on those catchers because of tentacles, and we have a giant Rotter bench, so he's free to stomp on Griff if he shows up. So I'm gonna stick with Nurgle here as well. So we've got Wood United and Archangel's Will. So we've got a Welf off. This should be interesting. We got a 1480 Wood Elf team versus like a 1900 Wood Elf team.
Archangel's Will, yes. 1920 is Luke 4444.
Yep, and he's got a 1920 Wood Elf team. That's insane, including a well, let's see. How many Guard and Mighty Blow are on the different Wood Elf teams? There's a Mighty Blow Tackle War Dancer for Luke. And Archangel also has a Mighty Blow Tackle War Dancer. 2 Mighty Blow Tackle War Dancers. Ooh, that's spicy.
Wood United, how do you have so many players on the Wood? He has a level 6 catcher worth 200k. I mean, whatever. My skink is worth almost as much.
Like, I think the big deal, honestly, in this matchup is that they're like one Wood Elf team is going to out remove the other Wood Elf team. Like, they have enough speed to keep up with each other, essentially, and 2 Mighty Blow Tackle War Dancers is going to out damage 1 Mighty Blow Tackle War Dancer.
Yeah, but you're still only getting 1 blitz per turn. I mean, they're not going to leave the War Dancer based, so... That's
certainly true, but, you know, it's essentially that he has a spare, you know?
He does have a spare, it's true. And they get 500k inducements.
And there isn't, despite it's being a 1920 team, like, it's because there's just a lot of skills. None of them are super crazy, right? There isn't there's 2 doubles, like there's one Agi5.
Archangel's normally almost that high, if not actually that high. He's down his 200k catcher and his 150k thrower.
Yeah.
Does he get a loner? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He gets one loner, so he's actually at 1550. So 1550 versus 19 something.
I really like Archangel's word answers. The fact that he's out his catcher and thrower. Make
so
a
the
difference.
catcher, the elf game definitely goes to Luke. He's got a thrower. Not that really matters. So he doesn't have an amazing thrower. He just has someone who's basically as good as everyone else, except he has a built-in reroll. But this catcher is unstoppable. Yes, but you're probably not passing with maple syrup.
Oh man. Well, yeah, he's at G5, so why not? It's a good pass.
The built-in reroll is usually better than +1 to pass.
Not if you're doing really long passes.
Yes, but if you're doing really long passes, something has gone horribly wrong. I think I'm gonna give this to Luke, but it could go either way. You're right. Like if Archangel gets early removals,
it's like I think that Archangel will do better in the punching game, but I think that Luke will be able to out elf him. It really depends so heavily on how the first few turns go. Like, there's a couple of really important pieces for Luke, right? Like, if that catcher gets injured, or like that G5 dude gets injured, or one of the ward answers gets injured, or like one of those three or something, then we could have a serious swing. You know what? Let's be spicy, and I believe in my regular viewers, so we're gonna go with Archangel, just because he hangs out in the stream. Or they hang out in the stream, I should say. I am unaware of your gender. So I will go with Archangel, and we'll get some more competition going on here.
And then we have a Norse off. Man, a lot of mirror matches this week.
Norse Unleashed and Yeti to Conquer. So we
by a lot I mean
1580 and 1460.
Hey, or Ironmaster is out his Yeti in a Norse off. I think that's actually good.
And an Ulf.
Well, the Ulf is very bad, but being out a Yeti is fine, really. Like, it's a strength 5 piece, but the claw isn't doing anything. I guess it's a mighty blow piece as well.
It turns out the other team doesn't have a Yeti, so it doesn't really matter.
No, it's true.
I mean, I think in a Norse off, especially when we have Stat Freak Norse. Look at that.
But Stat Freak Norse means they only have 2 Mighty Blow. How much do the... Okay, so hold on. I need to check this out.
This is pretty
He Roto has 2 guard, and 2 Mighty Blow.
Ironmaster has 1 guard and 1 Mighty Blow.
Okay.
But that Mighty Blow is Mighty Blow Tackle Piling On Jump Up Pro.
Frenzy. Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. He's also down his Ulf. I'm going to give this to He Roto.
Yeah, I was gonna say He Roto once I saw all those stats, basically. So let's do that. But I wouldn't be surprised. Once again, they're close, and if removals go one way or the other, it's gonna be very it could be very swingy, right? Armor 7 off. If one team gets an advantage early, that team will probably win, and it's almost impossible to pick who's gonna get the advantage early. But I think overall, in the long run, if this game was played many times, He Roto Sukara takes it more often. So we're gonna go that way.
Sure.
And we have Rotting Snatches and Werewolf of Wall Street. So we've got another Nurgle team, I believe, right? Yeah.
Versus Necro, I assume, based on that name.
Yep. 1760 Necro versus 1550 Nurgle.
So I'm going to look at Cunning Fox Pup's team first.
Oh,
the requisite Claw, Mighty Blow, Block, Tackle Werewolf. Very nice.
Yep.
Blodge, Tackle being a good support blitzer. Got the Block Flesh Golems, has 1 guard Ghoul even, but he is niggled, so he is going to implode at the first opportunity.
Movement 9 Ghoul.
Cunning Fox Pup, as we discussed in week 1, has no support whites, but instead has a killer white.
Yep.
Apparently, He Roto cycled his Yeti just for this game.
Fair enough. So, that seems like a good idea.
I agree with that choice. The double plus movement Ghoul is cool. You can 1 turn now pretty easily. Only needs 1 push. Yeah, I mean, pretty decent Necro team. Doesn't have a lot of support skills, it must be said.
There's a couple of good
Nurgle, which you usually don't need support pieces early on. They have 2 guard.
Yep, and they've got
but one of them is a Pestigore.
They've got the Strength 5 Mighty Blow Claw piece, which is a little scary too.
It is, but no, I mean that's just straightforwardly scary. You're right. And another Claw Mighty Blow. So there's 2 Claw Mighty Blow for the Necro and 1 for the Necro. Sorry, I think I got this all mixed up. 1 for the Necro, 2 for the Nurgle.
The Nurgle have 0 bench though. In fact, they have a Loner Rotter.
Oof.
Which is not
They're
ideal.
gonna cut into their inducements, but they could technically pick up some stuff with their inducements because the Necro have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
they'll get
9, 10.
160k. So that's like, I mean, you can. It's not always like, so. There's a couple options there. You can take the wizard to sort of try to deny the potato, right? Like force the Necro player into playing that. My opponent has a wizard, I can't potato because then I won't score. But as soon as the wizard gets used, that value is gone. So it's like you almost just want to hold on to the wizard and not use it as Nurgle. The other thing to consider is like Babes, probably, because you can't take an Apo as Nurgle.
Yeah, and every removal is pretty serious for you here, and you are going to get into a removal off versus the Necro. So I think it is important for the Nurgle to pick up things that help them recover from the damage they are inevitably going to sustain. I think I want to give it to the Nurgle, but it's close.
Yeah, it's not an easy choice, honestly. Like I think the Nurgle will like win the removal game, but the Necro can deal with that because they have a bench and the Nurgle don't. Right, so even if like the Nurgle remove 2 players and the Necro remove 1, then Necro still have a full team and the Nurgle are down a player. Like just as an example at the start of the game. Oh man, it's not easy. It's not an easy choice. I think I'm gonna go with Necro.
Okay, we can split.
Yeah, and it's like entirely on some like the strength. Like I'm just kind of going for straws here. Like Bullet Tooth Tony is really scary with Claw Mighty Blow strength, but he doesn't have block, so he might apple pies it, as it were. We've got a Nurgle Warrior without block, and like I think the big deal for me is that every removal is serious. He has no ablative Rotter armor because he's only going to have 3, and they have to be on the line. Like every removal of a positional is basically a huge deal, whereas the Necro have a lot of zombies that they could potentially throw at stuff if they have to. So like I think it's just the attrition game sort of, I guess, is probably in favor of the Necro, and it's
we'll see. Necro. All right, I have to run pretty much now.
And that's all our predictions. We will be back, same bat channel, same bat day, but not same bat time next week. So we'll be back on Wednesday next week for take a look at previewing week 3, and we'll rotate back into our team review version, so we won't be taking a look at matches. However, if you want your match casted still, or feel free to PM me your match times once they get scheduled, and if I'm around, I'll stream them, basically. It depends on whether I'm at work or whatever, but if I'm available, I certainly want to be able to watch your match live, so please PM me your match times if you're interested in having them covered, that is. If you're not interested in having them streamed, don't. Simple.
It's true. And also, if you think the replay is particularly fun to watch, holla at your boy.
Yep. Although we won't be watching our replay next week.
It's true. But in general, it's good info to have, I guess.
Cool. So do I have anything to announce about regular stream stuff? No. My next stream guaranteed is Saturday at like 11 p.m. UTC. I'll be playing in my REBBL game against Halflings as my Nurgle.
So Saturday evening?
Yep, Saturday evening at 8 p.m. my time.
Game. I might show up to laugh at you lose to Halflings.
I probably will, yeah. That's going to be us for this week. YouTube, if you missed parts that you're interested in, it'll be up by tomorrow. Steakmittens, you can find it on YouTube there.
I always post it in the channel anyway with things and stuff, so
yep,
you can't miss it.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you next time. I've been Steakmittens.
And I'm Shadorra.